This is Brian's speech. Me, Kaylin. Yay!
Ready?
Yep.
Right. Good evening, folks. My name is Brian Dunaway, and I'm here to talk to you about a naval rite of passage called the Shellback. Long before the inception of the U.S. Navy, a tradition occurred that every sailor had to take part in on the deep blue sea. Today, the Navy continues with that tradition, and the tradition that I'm talking about is called crossing the line and obtaining your shellback. And you might be asking yourself, Brian, what exactly is a shellback? Well, a shellback is a naval term for a sailor who has sailed across the equator. Up until a sailor actually sails across the equator, they are considered a polywog. According to the Department of the Navy, the Naval History Center, crossing the line is a tradition in which all members aboard the ship must take part in, including the commanding officer if he has not yet obtained his shellback, which it will be very rare. Now, let's turn our attention to why the shellback ceremonies take place. In today's Navy, the shellback ceremony just takes precedence just to maintain tradition and history. In the early days of sailing, however, the crossing the line ceremony was actually considered a life-saving ritual. In her book, Rites and Passages, The Experience of American Whaling, Margaret Creighton explains that oxen and goats were sacrificed at sea and given to King Neptune. Now, King Neptune is the Roman term for the Greek god Poseidon. And King Neptune was believed to cause many storms and turbulence at sea if a vessel sailed across the ocean without paying its respects to King Neptune. Finally, let's move to what takes place during a crossing the line ceremony. In the early days of sailing, sailors were actually strung up by their feet, raised into the air, dropped over the side of the boat into the ocean numerous times over. And then, like I said before, live animals aboard the ship were sacrificed and their blood was actually drained into the ocean for King Neptune. In today's Navy, however, the ceremony is a little somber and less bloody. According to one of my former shipmates that I served under, Senior Chief Petty Officer David Taylor, stated that today's ceremony is nothing more than just a fun day in a park full of games and challenges. And these challenges are basically team building skills for all of the polywogs becoming shellbacks. One of the grossest parts of the actual ceremony is at the end, when each sailor has to crawl on his hands and knees to a little kiddie swimming pool, and the members of the ship actually find the fattest and hairiest sailor aboard ship, put him in nothing but underwear, cover him in Crisco, and put a cherry in his belly button. And the sailors actually have to crawl up and pick the cherry out of the sailor's belly button with their teeth. And also in today's Navy, there's actually no hazing whatsoever involved due to an instruction signed by the Secretary of the Navy, Mr. John H. Dalton, which states that hazing behavior that is degrading, embarrassing, or injurious is unprofessional and illegal. So to recap, crossing the line ceremony and the shellback have been around for centuries. From the days of sacrifice for King Neptune to the lighter challenges today sailors take part in just to carry on tradition, it all remains the same. Becoming a shellback is a naval rite of passage that many sailors get to carry on for the rest of their life. And in the end, it comes down to Hail King Neptune. Thank you.
Yay!